Disclaimer, the comments made in this video are intended for entertainment purposes only and are not intended to offend anyone.
From neon hair to tattoos crawling up their necks, the surprise when women can't land corporate gigs is comedy gold. If you've ever seen self-expression crash into office dress codes, this is it. Hello and welcome. Today we will see modern women who are stunned that they can't find jobs with their wild hair and tattoos. First up, we have a woman explaining the ancient mystery of why companies avoid hiring people covered in skull ink and piercings.
So you've got piercings or tattoos and you feel like you're not getting jobs like this individual. All right, I'm going to give it to you straight. Remember, I was in staffing recruiting for a lot of years, so I'm going to tell you what's really going on. There is a very famous phrase that goes, people hear what they see. People hear what they see. And in different jobs, companies really believe that. Not everyone, but remember, hiring is discrimination. The people at the top decide the kind of talent they want to hire. And so there are lots of companies out there that believe that people with piercings and tattoos are sending a vibe, right? Sending a visual message. And what people are hearing when they see your tattoos or your piercings is that you're dangerous, you're a rogue, going to be difficult, you're going to be too independent. And they don't want that. And you know what? As an employer, they have the right to choose. And so is it fair? No, of course not. But you're going to see this, and you're going to always see this because especially here in the US, we live in a country where if you run a business, aside from some very clear laws around discrimination, you can choose who you want to work for. You are an at-will employee, meaning you can quit at any time and they can fire you at any time. And so you will continue to see this kind of discrimination based on the people hear what they see concept. And so some companies just won't allow it. They don't want it. You got to go find the companies that have no problem with it, right? The companies that understand.
She breaks it down like it's corporate gospel. People hear what they see. Groundbreaking stuff. Translation? HR thinks your dragon sleeve means you'll summon fire in the break room. Up next, we meet Melissa from Wales, rocking over 800 tattoos, including 3 full layers on her face, and wondering why bosses aren't rushing to hire her. Wild guess, maybe corporate isn't ready for human coloring book chic. Toilet cleaning gigs vanished, but hey, Sharpie sponsorships are still open. Here's a woman warning the youth about visible tattoos like she's the PTA president of Ink Regrets Anonymous.
As someone who is heavily tattooed, I am telling the younger generation, do not get tattooed where you can see them. Don't do it. Because let me tell you, I gave no flying at your age. I really didn't. And I wanted to go out and just be completely different to everyone else and rebel against society. But as a 30-year-old now, I'm thankful that I am not heavily tattooed so people can see them. Because let me tell you, it will stop you from getting a job. Yes, that is discriminative, and I do not deny that. But first appearances do count. So please, do not get your neck, hands and face tattooed before the rest of your body. Think smart, think logically, and just remember, you might not give a shit now, but in 20 years time, you will do. And I'm sorry to be the boring mum, but don't get a tattoo that you can see until you exactly know what you want to do and you don't know what you're doing in your 20s. Love you.
She admits she rebelled in her 20s, but now at 30, suddenly HR Barbie has logged in. Moral of the story, hide your tattoos or hide from payroll. Coming up, a woman passionately explaining that tattoos in corporate used to be taboo, so she once hid hers to land jobs.
Talk about tattoos in corporate. So for a long time, this was something super taboo. And even myself, for the first part of my career, I purposely put all my tattoos where they could be covered up because I knew that that would cost me at some point a job interview at that time. But luckily, the world is changing. People are allowed to, have self-expression, actually do things that show who they are, and it is not like it was before. So if you are interviewing, you are in the job offer promotion process, and someone's legitimately is telling you to cover your tattoos. Unless you have something super offensive tattooed on your face or your neck, my friends, this is not an organization you want to be associated with at all, because if they are that close-minded on something is so common feminist tattoos, just imagine how challenging it is when you bring across a really innovative idea.
Now she's celebrating society's big glow-up in self-expression. Groundbreaking news, companies that hate tattoos probably also hate ideas. Who could have guessed? Here's another drama. A woman suiting up for battle by hiding her tattoos like they're state secrets. She layers on sleeves, blazers, and sheer determination while a TikTok voice insists nobody's gonna know. Spoiler alert, everyone knows. It's basically camouflage, but for HR. Here we have a young woman discovering the Air Force isn't thrilled about her teenage neck tattoo. She cries dramatically while the audio screams, "Get it off of me!" Honestly, who knew permanent ink wasn't a temporary vibe? Guess Uncle Sam prefers dog tags over doodles. Coming up, we've got a woman in a purple robe breaking the shocking news that jobs don't love face tattoos and lip rings.
Did you know that some companies won't hire you because you have tattoos or piercings? When I talk about piercing, I'm talking about nose piercing, lip piercing, this piercing, or tattoos that are visible. They won't hire you because they care about the image of the company, the reputation of the company rather. So I've always wanted a tattoo, but I just realized that I don't need one, especially where it's visible. If it's in your face, I don't think they're gonna So I just decided that I'm no longer getting a tattoo because hey, it's going down in the corporate world.
Groundbreaking stuff. It's like discovering water is wet. Corporate America may be soulless, but apparently it still draws the line at eyebrow jewelry and tattoos. Here we have another woman calmly explaining that, surprise, your neon blue hair and dragon neck tattoo aren't constitutionally protected rights.
You do not have rights to have tattoos in the workplace. They're just not protected. If you get fired or they refuse to hire you because of the fact that you have tattoos, I can't help you. Same thing with piercings. If a company fires you or refuses to hire you because you have a tongue piercing, blue hair, tattoos on your neck, there's nothing I can do about that. They legally can discriminate against you for that reason. For some reason, I've been doing a lot of intakes regarding tattoos recently, so I just thought I'd bring that up.
She delivers the news like a lawyer reading bedtime stories. Basically, show up to work looking like a Skittles bag, and yes, corporate might just pass. Coming up, we've got a job hunt plot twist. This woman reveals she got rejected because of her hand tattoo, holding it up like evidence in court. Shocking, right? Turns out companies don't want resumes inked across your knuckles. Who knew professionalism isn't spelled in Sharpie? Here we have the ultimate undercover mission. This woman tried to tape and make up her hand tattoo into oblivion before a job interview. Spoiler alert, it ends up looking like a DIY zombie prosthetic and she still didn't get the job. Nothing screams hire me like patchy beige tape and a bracelet decoy. Coming up, we've got a woman calmly explaining why your dream career might not vibe with a forehead spider tattoo.
Come on here and talk about something that is really starting to annoy me. I applied for a job at TJ Maxx a few weeks ago and they denied my application.
I have always been a very alternative person. I now have like more of a, preppy mom vibe. But I've always had tattoos, piercings, colorful hair. So this is coming from someone who has experience in the professional business world, as well as the world where I had to get hired to start off with because I had piercings in my face and tattoos showing.
First thing is, a lot of us that have tattoos and piercings, not even to the degree that you do, not only are we fully warned by friends and family and colleagues and all that stuff about what will happen to us in our career and how our bosses will view us and how people in public will view us if we get a nose piercing, if we get a lip piercing, if we get a tattoo, if we dye our hair bright colors. It is just the way that society is. It shouldn't necessarily be that way. It should be about people's skill set. But there are people that are just going to judge that. And you have to understand that business owners want to make money. And so some of them are really afraid that in certain businesses, that will not be perceived really well by a certain kind of clientele. You can get tattoos that you can cover up. A lot of people will do this that are in jobs where they wear uniforms. They get it so that their uniform covers all of their tattoos. They don't get them on their neck. A lot of people won't get anything super scary or violent or with nudity. A lot of people won't get a ton of facial piercings. One thing that I did was I had my septum, but I very well knew, because I was going for a leadership position, that even though I wanted to keep my nose ring, I got one so that I could flip it up. So it was completely invisible. So at work, I could flip my septum up. No one was the wiser, because it's just what we have to do in society in order to pay our bills. The other alternative is to work jobs that they're completely fine with that, but you have to know that, and I think a lot of people will back me up on this, a lot of jobs where you're allowed to be alternative don't tend to make you necessarily the most money, at least not starting out. You have to be good and you have to be talented and you have to do that for years. So if you're going to be a tattoo artist, if you're going to be a hairstylist, if you're going to be in the beauty industry, it took me a long time to make good money in the beauty industry, but I knew that with my bright, colorful hair and my piercings and I was going to have to choose a career that supported that.
But I will tell you, as someone who has had several piercings in their life, depending on the place that you're trying to work, they are not going to like it and they probably will not hire you. And there's not really anything you can do about that. I would definitely go look for a job where they are okay with that.
She lays it out plain. Businesses chase money, not your aesthetic rebellion. Translation? Hide the septum ring or embrace hairstylist wages. Corporate America isn't here for your skull ink. Coming up, we've got a woman proudly explaining how her neck pentagram tattoo shocked the world of 9-to-5 employment.
It was about my tattoos, obviously, because I know a lot of places don't like tattoos.
I literally just talked about this yesterday. After getting tattooed, I made a huge choice to get a pentagram tattoo on my neck. And at the time, I was like, oh, here we go. When I got it done, people were like, you're hindering yourself from job opportunities. At this point, I feel like it's pushed the right people away. I don't want to work in a 9-to-5. I'm a creative person. And whether you think tattoos makes you look like a sketchy person, non-trustworthy, not professional, I beg to differ. There are sketchy people everywhere, and people with tattoos can be sketchy. 90% of the people I've met with tattoos are the most kindest, creative, beautiful people I've ever met. And you know why they're that way? Because people treat us like we're thieves and people who just need to be in jail or come from jail. Your judgment of people with tattoos is probably projecting, and maybe get to know the person first.
She swears tattoos don't make you unprofessional, which is true unless your boss thinks Hot Topic is the devil's HR department. Moral of the story, capitalism hates body art. In the next clip, we've got a woman with neck and hand tattoos laying down career advice like it's LinkedIn Live.
So I wanted to come on here and talk about something that is really starting to...
I watched that whole video and then I read the comment section. I'm not bashing the original poster, but let's have a difficult conversation. Your tattoos are absolutely a factor, but I don't think they were the only factor. And I'll answer, don't worry. I have hand and neck tattoos. I've had visible tattoos since I was 17 years old. Okay, but I also have self-awareness. I understand that every decision that I make to modify my appearance in a way that goes directly against what is socially acceptable where we live, that is going to create a roadblock. You have face tattoos, roadblock. You have aggressive artwork. Whether you agree that it's aggressive or not, a majority of people in our society is going to view that particular type of artwork as aggressive. The picture that you present, okay, is not approachable. It is not intelligent. Is that fair? No. But is it what happens? Yeah. When you go into an interview, okay, you put in your resume, they've called you in, so whatever they've seen on paper is good enough to get in there. You have one shot, one opportunity to make a good impression. If you already know that you're going to be perceived in a negative light from the get-go, and you do not do everything you can to soften that on impact, you're doing yourself a disservice. I have been a hiring manager. I've worked in sales. I work in corporate now. I have a specialty. I've never not had a job, but that is because I know how to talk to people. I know how to present myself in order to soften the edge that I am often viewed with. You go into that interview and you need to show that you are intelligent, that you are capable, that they misjudged you by not telling them they misjudged you, but by carrying yourself in a way that they don't see the tattoos as prevalently. They'll always see them. But if you can show them that you can offer what they are looking for, they're likely to look by it. If you call someone after you don't get a job and go, what's the reason? Is it my tattoos? That's an immediate, I'm never gonna hire you. I'm gonna mark your resume and be like, never. What do you mean? That means to me that you are not able to like self-reflect and go, what else could it have been? Did you not answer a question properly? Did you not have the information that they needed? TJ Maxx, no offense, doesn't seem like that's a place that you spend a lot of time in. You might not be their demographic, and that's okay. But I don't understand how you don't understand. And I really hope that anyone who's looking at getting face, hand, neck tattoos really truly considers that just because you have a job now or you work in an industry now doesn't mean you'll always have that job or you won't want to leave that industry and that you won't face challenges going forward. You need to do extra work. You have to. You made a choice to make a change, and that's fine. But you also need to understand that that choice you made is going to create more problems for you to overcome. And if you're looking at how are these kids getting jobs, some of them aren't. Some of them go in and they're arrogant and they don't get hired, or they know somebody. Some of them go in and they are sweet and kind and they're interested and they're eager because they just want to be able to pay for their concert tickets and their Sephora card and they want to go hang out with their friends. And they'll come in for their work. They'll show up for their shifts. Personalities matter a lot. And interviews can tell you a lot if you have a good manager who's doing those interviews. And it doesn't necessarily matter what you look like if you can present yourself in a way that presents a better package. I have to assume that didn't happen. But yes, tattoos are a factor.
She explains that, yes, face art might scream roadblock louder than your resume. Basically, if your interviewer can't look past the pentagram on your throat, Chili's isn't calling back. This next clip is surprising. In an office, this woman calmly explains the shocking truth. Yes, tattoos can get you fired.
Can you be fired for having tattoos? The short answer is yes. In California, employers are allowed to implement policies on grooming and dress code, which include those of piercings or tattoos. Now, the exception here applies when the employee has a religious belief that requires him or her to have certain piercings or tattoos. This is covered by the California Religious Freedoms Act and requires the employer to engage in reasonable accommodation for an employee's religious practices, so long as an undue hardship is not imposed on the employer.
Riveting stuff. Who knew corporate America still fears ink like it's witchcraft? Apparently, body art is fine for sailors, but in HR land, it's basically a crime scene. Next, we've got a woman in a pink bonnet clapping back at people hating on neck and chest tattoos.
There's some discourse going around about people not liking women with neck and chest tattoos, and I would just like to say that we do not give a fuck. We don't care. Are you kidding me? I didn't get this tattoo to be attractive. I got it because it looks cool. The fuck? If you don't like neck and chest tattoos, don't get one. You probably don't have the pain tolerance for it anyway, to be completely honest, okay? And also, this whole neck and chest tattoos isn't ladylike and it's unprofessional. All of that is rooted in white supremacy. Did you know that? Shut up. We don't care. We don't give a
She flashes her ink like it's a badge of honor and tells the haters to shut up. Basically, it's less job interview and more don't like it, don't look. In this clip, a woman sitting on the floor responds to the classic, "You'll never get a corporate job with those hand tattoos," warning.
Okay? You stupid!
She starts calm, then screams, "Duh!" like it's a horror movie jump scare. Honestly, it's less career advice, more Sesame Street on steroids. Corporate America is trembling. Now, in a restroom mirror, a woman casually flipping her hair to reveal a giant teal side head tattoo.
She does what she wants, and she looks cool doing it.
1 second, she's corporate chic. The next, she's auditioning for a cyberpunk reboot. Basically, it's Peekaboo, but for HR violations. The stock photo resume didn't stand a chance. Here, a woman gearing up for her double life, daytime corporate darling, nighttime tattoo villain.
When you're a corporate girly, but live another life outside of work.
She calmly slaps a beige sticker over her neck ink like it's a witness protection program for body art. Honestly, it's less professional makeover and more DIY FBI disguise kit. And finally, we've got a woman with split-dyed hair, piercings, and tattoos everywhere, casually responding to the classic "you'll never get a job" lecture.
What would you do if when you're okay, so he said yes would go? I don't know what you mean there, babes.
She stares down the camera, delivers word salad like a broken AI chatbot, then grins like she just solved world peace. Corporate recruiters must be trembling. That's a wrap on today's wild hair and tattoo job hunt saga. Whether you chuckled, sighed, or questioned humanity, one thing's clear: HR isn't here for rainbow mullets. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and maybe save the dragon neck tattoo for the weekend, not the boardroom.